Some people are born with superior knowledge of all things football. These guys aren't them. Join us as Dakota,
Bears taking down the Chiefs 10-3.
Mikey, and Cody
24-21 Patriots of the Falcons.
make some of the hottest takes and even bigger mistakes on this episode of We Love Football.
Just let everyone know what. Alrighty, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you guys so much for joining in. Another episode of the We Love Football podcast. Episode
We Love Football
7. Week.
Oh my god!
Week 7.
You got it right.
8. I know. Look at me. You know, we're just getting professional over here. We're just absolutely more professional.
I didn't actually hear it.
So, huh?
What'd you say?
I said episode 7. So week 7,
Okay.
week 8 previewed. I know. Thank you guys. Round of applause for me. I just say no. Big ups, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching the episodes, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. We had our first guest last week. This week, just us three, and then we have some guests lined up for you guys coming soon. So big surprises. We won't tell
Stay
anybody.
tuned.
Tom Brady?
Also,
Tom Brady on the
Tom
podcast?
Brady. Peyton Manning,
Also-
the Manning brothers.
My
Don't
make a
forget
wish.
to like,
My make a wish
subscribe,
wish.
please. Like and
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Yep, like
Yeah.
and subscribe before we get started. Thank you guys so much. We have 27 subscribers now. So thank you guys very much
And
for that. And counting. So big ups to everybody who's liking, commenting, subscribing, watching. Big up to Cody's brother in the background.
Hype, man.
We're professional. We're professionals here, guys. We're professionals. Also, Mikey didn't get the hat memo. Sorry, must have sent it to the wrong work email.
Pause. Wait. Pause. Oh, give me
Oh,
2 seconds.
Pausing.
2 seconds. Oh, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Oh,
Let's.
blitz. Oh man. But anyways, so
Oh,
we are.
I just remembered.
up?
We need to talk about the flag football.
Oh
gotta
my
talk
gosh!
about
Yes,
the
I
flag
remember
football.
we talked about flag football. You know what? Let's go ahead and start it off with that while
Okay.
Mikey's doing that. Okay, flag football in the Olympics.
2028.
First, what do you think about it, Cody?
I personally think I am a big supporter of football in any kind of form going national. I am a big fan, or international, I should say. I'm a big fan of like the international games that the NFL does. London, Mexico City.
Jaguar.
We're doing
Jaguar.
Frankfurt this year.
Oh, Colts
I'm-
Patriots.
Colts Patriots, and I think Chiefs Dolphins are those two games are in
Mhm.
Frankfurt. I'm a big fan of it. I think
Yeah.
the more eyes we get on the product, the better. And I understand why they're doing flag football and not actual football for
Makes sense.
the Olympics.
Uh,
Maybe one day we'll get to a place.
I mean,
where-
well, there's a European league. Oh, there's a
There is.
European football league. There's an Australian football league.
a
Obviously,
little bit different.
Canadian.
Australian rules football is a little bit different.
Well, I mean, they kind of make different rules for all the football leagues, anyways.
I want to
So,
say
like the
I wanna say
European
Australian
football
rule
league is a little different
is-
too.
I want to say Australians like rugby, kind of smushed into football a little bit.
Oh, that's fun.
But I'm a fan of it. I think the more eyes on the product, the better. But what I have an issue with, and it's what we were talking about, I think last night, is that at least one flag football team I've seen is trying to gatekeep flag football from NFL players.
Oh my gosh! And we talked about this last night during our little business meeting.
We talked about it, and me and Dakota got pretty heated about it. So
ridiculous.
I'm not gonna name drop the page I saw, but I saw a TikTok of for a flag football team who said, "Hey, we got flag football players got flag football to the Olympics. Leave flag football to us. Let us get our honors. Let us get our dues. This is our time to shine," sort of thing. Let NFL players play NFL football. And basically, whoever posted it was fighting for his life in the comments because everyone took exception to, because he was basically saying Derrick Henry can't play flag football because he just can't run over everybody. Tyreek Hill would probably be the only player who can make the transition and learn how to play flag football.
Look, transition. What transition is
the annoying thing to me is, hey, maybe me and Dakota and Mikey, we don't know flag. Maybe we just don't know flag football and the
I play
rules
flag
behind
football like every other Saturday.
There we go. Look at that.
What is
So,
that
Mikey,
guy talking about? I'd
is the
fight
rules
that
that
dude.
different?
I would literally end his life.
I would literally. Oh my god, we do not condone.
We don't condone
ending
murder.
lives. Just letting everyone know.
Trial by combat is one thing, but he would have
trial
to
by combat.
I meant
consensual
hang on,
trial by
verbiage.
combat.
Let me rephrase. I would break his ankles at flag football. I would snatch every flag he owned, even ones that weren't attached to him.
He would not snatch his weave.
Oh my gosh! No, but dude, that whole thing is it's the Olympics. It's the Olympics. Best people
send
go.
Your best athletes.
You send your best athletes. Okay? If you cannot accept that, then I'm sorry, sports aren't for you, bud. Okay.
So my thing is, yeah, maybe flag football from Little Creek, Illinois, that play every Sunday. I don't even know if there's Little Creek, Illinois. It just sounds like a made up town. But maybe they have really good chemistry and they could go and Chesterfield, Iowa. Yeah, whatever Steven said in the background. Winchesterfield, Chin, Iowa.
I love that movie, by the way.
There's a Little Creek Drive in Illinois.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Little Creek Drive, Buccaneers,
the Little
flag football
Creek
team.
Drive.
Little Creek
they might have great
in
chemistry,
Springwood.
but put their best team that they could put together against a team of Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, put Austin Eckler in the backfield, and then Lamar Jackson
or Patrick
CMC out there.
Ooh,
and then give me Lamar Jackson, I would say would probably be the better for a flag football scenario.
100%. Well, I don't know.
Patrick Mahomes,
that's a good argument. The Patrick Mahomes random throws that he can make would probably be the best for flag football.
So I think Lamar has the better wheels and legs.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes' ability to convert on 3 and 12, 3 and 15, 3 and 17 with his legs, it's insane. It's like he puts a spell on the defense. It's like, hey, you don't see me for 10 yards.
I also think that
he always has a 10-yard bubble around him.
Mahomes can, because you know why? Okay, this is why. Lamar Jackson, once he breaks the pocket, 9.9 times he's going on a run.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes, dude, it's a toss-up, bro. You have no idea if he's going to just toss it over your head or if he's going to run. So you have to stay in coverage. And that's why he's able to, when he does run, get a freaking lot of yards, because they're staying back. They're like, dude, I'm not getting tossed 45 yards on the run while he's falling down right over my head as soon as I step
magical.
up.
That's all we can say.
I think
he sold his soul to the devil. And
that's a great question for the viewers. Who do you think? Build your best five, your top five. Build
Mikey,
your five-man.
So since we have Mikey here and he does play flag football, what's the personnel like? What's the number of people on each side, and do y'all both ways?
So we play both ways, yes. In regards to the numbers, I don't actually know what the correct number you're supposed to have is. We base it off of how many people show up on a Saturday. Typically, we'll have.
Oh, you're not even playing a real league. You're not playing real flag football, then, Mikey.
No,
you're not playing regulation flag football.
Yeah, it's not a league, but they also aren't blocking and all this stuff. You got freaking 40 receivers going out for a pass. Freaking anyway. There's no structure to this game. You just play. You just run. That's it. You just run.
You just have fun.
If you catch the ball, you do.
So it's a according to.
We have like 7 or 8 guys on each side of the ball because that's.
I think it's 7-on-7 flag football. It's 7-on-7.
Yeah,
7-on-7. Okay,
7.
there you go.
So in the comments, build your best 7-man team, and keep in mind they have to go both ways.
There we go.
So
I like it.
I think you got to put.
It can be. I will say it can be very tiring. I will give them that.
Okay, this is from the Olympics.com news or website. 5 players on each team.
5-on-5.
So 5-on-5.
Going both ways,
or not going both ways. There's a 12-person squad that tends to specialize in either offense or defense. So there's 5 men on the field at each time during the play.
I need to meet this guy.
There's 12. I
play both ways. You don't even understand.
But 12-man teams.
Put 12-man teams.
Okay.
So in the
I do
build your best offense or build your best defense. Either one.
Yeah, one of the other.
I will say
you can comment twice and build your best offense and defense, whatever. But we want to hear from you guys. Your best 5-man flag football team from I'm gonna say NFL players, but if you know Jim Bob that plays flag football professionally, who knows?
Worcester Tunchin, Iowa Lions, maybe their team's the best.
What if we get this is the first episode a flag football team that wants to check us out. Oh, hey, let's check out this podcast, and we're just like, dude, flag football is easy. These guys are trash.
Hey, no, I don't think we ever said it was easy. It's just not NFL football.
True.
That's a dumb thought anyways, because football players don't like flags. So why would you play with flags?
True.
Next to my freaking
we need to get Mikey. You need to get mic'd up for one of your flag football games.
we need to get Christian out there with his. He got a drone. Let's get Christian out there with his drone and record Mikey's.
Actually, hey,
highlights.
one of the guests. One of the guests that I'm trying to get on here. He actually plays on that. He plays flag football with me. So
there you go.
Another guy who thinks it's easy.
Pro? Yes, going pro. Go and play for the Olympics.
Hey, just so you guys know, you play football better than NFL players.
100%. You play flag football. Right. You play flag football.
A real man sport.
Real man, obviously.
Glorified two-hand touch football.
Your flag.
Your flag.
Give me that.
Oh man, that's funny. Anyways, that beautiful.
Hey,
first
I'm telling you now though, the funniest thing I've
football.
ever seen in flag football is whenever they snag the flag and they're frustrated and they throw it down like Belichick with a challenge flag. They do it every time. That's their way of being frustrated or mad. They throw a little flag down on the ground.
I love Sassy Belichick. Sassy Belichick is the best person ever. All right.
Anyway, so.
With that out of the way, we just spent 20 minutes probably talking about talking about.
That's the way to do it. That's all we do.
Speaking of shitting around and talking about useless football, Mikey's College Corner.
Yes.
Mikey's College.
Let me start off, Mikey. Just to get the tracker, just to shout myself out. What do you think about the rankings? Any disparaging comments about the rankings this week? I only have the top 15 up because I don't think anything else matters after that.
Let's see.
That's fine.
Air Force not getting the respect they deserve.
Undefeated, baby.
I
Air
have
Force
one
and
thing I have
James
an issue
Madison.
with. Or not an issue. It's just it's a comment, a thing I'm seeing.
All right, let's see
I
it.
agree with it.
So I've been doing this for a couple weeks now, putting the rankings up and just looking at the rankings as the weeks go by. Since Mikey's been doing a wonderful job with the college corner, it's been making me want to get more invested in college football.
Okay.
So I'm noticing a trend in the top 25, and it's Alabama. Alabama keeps slowly inching forward, Mikey. They just keep moving up.
I really hope Nick Saban breaks his pinky toe. Anyways, keep going.
You think there's a chance by the end of the season that they squeak in to the playoffs if they just keep going up slowly but surely like they are?
I say there's a high possibility.
It feels like the most Alabama thing to do is just like.
Well, this is
not.
Again, college football is frustrating, and Alabama, yes, tends to always manage to slip their way in there somehow. I think it definitely depends on obviously your top four. I can see Florida State where Florida State is sitting right now. I can see them winning out. So when I think they're I haven't looked at their schedule, but I've had to guess Florida is probably the other team that they would have to worry about. I would assume. I'd have to look at their schedule. I'm not really sure. So Florida State should win out. Depending on who they play in the ACC championship, will obviously be a factor in that. Then you got to take into account for the SEC championship. You've got Georgia. You already got an SEC team in the top four.
Right.
You've got Michigan and Ohio State. They play November the 11th, and that's a regular season game, so that's huge.
Go blue, fuck Ohio.
And obviously, Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. Somebody's going to have to come on top on the conference because they're all on the same side of their conference. So one of them's so either they're playing, and I was going to talk about this, and I'll
whoever loses that Michigan Ohio State, whoever wins it is almost guaranteed to win the Big Ten.
Yeah. So because for someone who doesn't know college football, explain to me like very basic terms how the college playoffs work. Is it just the top four, or is it
just the top four? Yep.
No matter
the top
what.
Four, no matter what, top four goes to. They have 2 bowl games assigned for the top 4.
Okay.
Obviously, they'll play in the bowl games. The winner of those 2 bowl games go to the national championship and play for the championship.
Mm-hmm. So
now next year they expand that, so it's no longer 4.
So 12, right?
Yeah.
So for this iteration of the college playoffs, hypothetically, 4 SEC teams could just be top 4, right? It's unlikely, but possible.
Yes and no, because you got to think about they're not going to put honestly they're not going to put a 2-loss team in the top 4, and for an SEC for 2 SEC teams to make it, one of them is going to at least have 1 loss, and so seeing all 4 SEC teams, it's not going to. I don't think it's plausible.
That's fair.
At all. But like you're saying, Mikey, with the Big Ten East, like that's tough, bro. And the West is a fucking just clusterfuck right now, dude.
But I mean, you do have a Minnesota team in there. They shouldn't win. They probably wouldn't, but they can play tough and they can hang tough, and they've done it before.
Yeah.
So that would be the only team I could see, like Iowa, but they don't have any offensive power. Yeah. They never have any offensive power. They've always.
Wisconsin's doing okay this year, but I mean, I just don't see the way So I watched a little bit of the Michigan State game. The way Michigan's playing right now,
Yeah,
dude, they're just on fire. Like the way
that
they're
rivalry,
is
is heating
insane.
up so hard.
So
Like didn't last year, like didn't Michigan State like beat the shit out of some of the guys in the tunnel?
damn right we did.
Whoa! We don't
Damn,
condone that. We don't
I
condone
do.
that here.
No, I don't. Listen. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, if you're gonna, and I think if I remember correctly, this happened last year, but it could have been another year, just because of all like the kind of heat around that rivalry.
Yeah.
But there was a Michigan player that went to the middle of, I think it was 2 years ago actually, went to the middle of Spartan Stadium and was like digging his cleats into the logo, like did it for a solid 30 seconds, minute, stomping on it.
He had some dog poo on his shoe, and he just needed to get it off.
All right, you do that. All right, whatever happens to you happens to you. Okay, that's all.
So you think? So I understand, like, going to the middle of the field and doing anything on the logo is disrespectful, but you think that warranted the beat
Motherfuckers
down?
in the NFL are beating ass because of logo disrespect. So you think some college players with heightened freaking testosterone that just would have beat some stuff up?
But do you think it's warranted? Like,
listen, if you're gonna do that, I mean, whatever happens, man. I mean, you gotta be ready for it.
I saw the flagrant
like
lead
that,
with the helmet hit from this past week that I think Michigan State did on Michigan. Like let his helmet like diving at someone.
There's been so many of those, just in general.
He did the Gronk.
So crazy.
You guys remember when Gronk did that? Fucking dove at somebody. No, you don't remember that?
No, I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't.
It's hilarious. Like it's not hilarious because of the.
We don't condone that.
We don't condone it, but like looking back on it and just how chill Gronk is, it's kind of hilarious. Because like you gotta ask like what that person did for Gronk to want to fucking dive onto their head like that. Because Gronk seems like maybe not on the field, maybe like he's just a jackass on the field.
You never know, yeah.
You never know. But he just seems like one of the nicest, like gentle giants you could be with.
Also, to kind of do a 180 here, Alabama's strength of schedule. For the rest of the games, LSU next week. Okay. Kentucky.
They got Florida. No.
Chattanooga.
Yeah.
FCS team that's probably ass. And then Auburn. So
rivalry game.
They could win out.
Yeah.
If they win out.
If they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship game, they'll have 2 losses and they should be out completely.
So,
but if they win against Georgia, what do you think that does to the rankings?
How does the championship games? So like that's like an extra week that affects the rankings, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So does every team in the top 4 play those championship games? No. So you can make it to the college football playoffs and not even play one of those. That seems dumb, in my opinion.
Well,
because the teams are playing extra games.
I'm pretty sure it happened to somebody. I can't remember who.
Now, there's a high there. Most scenarios and most times, yes, each team that's in the playoffs typically make it to their conference championship games because they're either undefeated or they're 1-loss teams.
But there are
like Alabama. Alabama's a 1-loss team, but their 1 loss didn't come to a conference foe. It came from a non-conference team. So technically, in the conference, they're still undefeated. So technically, they're still obviously on the top of their conference, on that side of their conference. And then obviously Georgia's on the other side of the conference. So right now, as it stands, those two are, if it were to go today, they would be in the SEC championship game. Both of those.
So I'm taking this opportunity to learn more about college football because I've already started asking questions. And I know you had a long thing to go. So there's 5 major conferences, right? The Power 5. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so
For the
then,
most part, for now.
Yeah, until the Pac-12.
Okay. So, and then each one of those has a championship game?
Yes.
Okay.
SEC, Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, ACC.
And so for next year, each winner is going to go to the playoffs of those Power 5, right? I think that's how it's working. It's like the championship winner of each of those is guaranteed a college playoff spot. I think that's what I saw.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't look into the inner workings of it. Mikey, did you look into
I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna work. Like, and I don't know. I'll have to thoroughly look into it too, because somebody had made the comment that like if they do it by ranking or do it by seeding, like your top X amount, you get like a week 1 bye kind of thing. But I've also heard it that your top's going to play your worst. Like they do in college basketball, your top seed will play your lower seed. So like your number 1 seeds normally play your 14, 15, or 16.
I could be wrong, but I think I saw a mock bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's 12 teams, and I think the top 4 teams get buys.
That would make sense, because then you have 4 and 4. It would go into 8, and you'd have an even kind of go from there. Because if you don't do a bye week your
season's going to, and you're going into like the season's going to be so long if you do it that way, right or not?
Well, it would work out essentially the same, but
I think you're only adding like 1 week of games, right?
Yeah,
or maybe 2. You're adding 1 or 2 weeks of games, because right now it's a 4-week game or 4-team playoffs, so that's 2 weeks for sure. 12 to 8, 8 to 4.
Well,
4 to 2. So yeah, you're adding
essentially
2 weeks.
Because they didn't really add a week to this, or maybe they added 1 week when they did the college playoffs, because the bowl games, the first 2, they're done during bowl week anyways. And then it's the national championship that's get played.
Well, I'm thinking like just
now with the new one, it'll probably end up adding like 2 or 3.
So now the bowl games that decide the 2 teams in the Natties are played during bowl week.
Yeah.
So that's not.
But
that's not adding a week.
Yeah.
It's played after. It's played after all the other bowl games have concluded.
So I would imagine they're going to do that in the new system. Play the bowl
Sunday,
games,
right?
Yeah, it's like
2 are played on a Sunday, like the Sunday of bowl weekend, like bowl week. Is that final Sunday, and then
I think they should just take not play any of the playoffs during the start after bowl week, and then that's when the playoffs start. I think that's what they should do.
So you think teams, the top 4 will get a 2-week bye?
Oh,
because
I don't know about that.
I don't, as a football coach, I would be like, fuck that. I would want a 2-week bye.
If that's the case, then yeah, definitely the start during the bowl week.
Yeah.
And understand bowl season starts at like the beginning of December. Like all your like smaller bowls start playing, like your if North Texas is playing like whoever, those bowls will start at the beginning of December, and they'll go all the way through that whole month. There's like so many bowls at the collegiate level. It's not even funny. So
yeah,
that whole month.
Since I've lived in South Carolina, it seems like the amount of bowl games has just like exponentially grown each year. And to me, it feels like almost kind of useless to have this many bowl games. Like
that's true.
Like it's over.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
100%.
Oversaturated.
It's just
But
money.
you're taking
Yeah.
the season and you're starting that season. What? Some start in late August, like August. Some start 1st of November or October sometimes. So if you're taking that, so say August, like you start the season in August, you're already taking that season. Some colleges are playing into January.
Yeah.
That's a long season. Like that's a lot of games. So like you're adding, I understand the expansion of the playoffs, but I think
it's no longer than the NFL.
Well, NFL doesn't start in August, does it? Preseason does.
Preseason, and then
which I would still count that as part of the season. I mean, you're still.
So I think college usually starts like 2 weeks before NFL starts, like their regular season. Could be wrong on that, but I think that's what it happens. And then they play for like at least a month after. Like with the new addition of the extra game, I think they go into January, and then they have
February. Wait, the Super Bowl's in February.
The Super Bowl is the second week of February now. I'm pretty sure.
Second week of February.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was close.
I think it's
close to
February.
Valentine's Day. Usually,
that's crazy.
So yeah, so like NFL goes longer than college, but they're also getting paid to do it. So you make the argument there.
I mean, college technically getting paid now.
NIL now, technically.
To be fair, in my opinion,
they've been getting paid.
College
just
has always been.
College has always been getting paid. This is like the legal
because
way of
they're getting walk-on scholarships. They're getting full rides. They're getting college for free. Like that's
I
in a
believe
form
that,
that's a payment.
I believe that they're not even thoroughly going to school. I believe that they're thoroughly there just for athletics.
Well, yeah, because you hear all the time about how football players go back and finish school. They don't like.
And most of them get like a business degree or like something really just like.
Because like DeAndre Hopkins, he's going back to Clemson right now to finish his degree.
Yeah. Most of them do.
It's wild.
That's just because they leave early.
Yeah.
To declare for the draft. And plus, probably also a good is that they probably don't take 15 credit hour. They take the 12, the minimum.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's, not a lot of times, especially now in colleges, they add so many like required courses for you to graduate that you have to take at least 15 to freaking a semester to finish on time.
I think that would be a good we should get a college player for sure, like as a guest, so we can ask all these questions and see like what living as a college level student athlete is like.
Yeah,
because like CSU, when we went, they were going to all their classes. Like they're not getting any much different than like the normal students are. They're getting better.
Yeah, I would like to talk to a Power 5 D1 athlete and see what life was like. Because like CSU, in my opinion, is a true athlete. Like you're going to class, you're doing work, you're doing studies, and you're still playing football. Like to me, that's a true athlete. Like there's so much money involved with Power 5 D1 that, and so much like fine line and like slipping through the cracks.
I imagine there's a lot of stuff that like
there's a lot of hidden stuff
they can't tell us.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden stuff.
100%.
D1 sports is crazy. I've talked to a D1
it's all about the money
and heard. I've talked to a D1 basketball recruiter, and I've heard all the like how the recruiting business is at that level.
Yeah,
and you wonder why they burn out so quick. Like it is absurd how much like undisclosed information and how many things are just slipping through that nobody's paying attention to because
I think really
for instance,
cool...
Duke's coach retired for a reason, and it wasn't because he was getting old and that he was done with it. There's a reason, and I know the reason, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because
I think what could be cool
right
is we do like a sub episode one day if we could manage it, and we get like a D1 football player, a D1 basketball player, and a D1 baseball player from different schools, like one from each different school, and like compare and contrast like the inner school living and the like in the same school, the different sports, because I feel like football players are probably getting the better situation out of like the three.
They got to. They have to. I mean,
it's like baseball and basketball are loved all over the country, but football is like the sport right now.
Yeah.
Football is bringing in more money than any other sport is.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a cool.
And not to say that they probably don't have very, 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 very good perks and live very well during that time.
Yeah.
I mean, how many players are on a basketball roster? For college, not very much, and so you can kind of splurge a little bit budget wise with them, get some cool things, have some cool things. But yeah, you're right. You're definitely going to see some different experiences. All D1 college athletes, but it depends, you know.
Maybe we could do like have them all at the same time, but maybe we could get like a questionnaire for them.
There you go.
And then we can compare the answers and talk about that.
So if you're watching and you were or are currently a D1 athlete, whatever school you go to, leave a comment, let us know, message us on Instagram,
TikTok.
And we'll try to get
TikTok.
Speaking of, yes,
TikTok.
This is a good segue. We have TikTok now. Mikey started taking care of that. Our intern has started taking care of an Instagram. Christian's doing that. I made a Discord. What else do we have?
On the map.
We're making a Facebook soon. And I need to get the new links up on the linktree, but we have a linktree. We could probably start plugging that into the description of each video, Dakota.
Yes.
For future.
There we go.
Get the link tree in, and that way people can go see where we are on.
You know what? It will be in this video's description.
This video.
So
hell yeah.
Go down, look in the description. Message us there if you have any questions, anything, comments, concerns. You can go down there and.
But Mikey, we went really long-winded, but talk about this week for us. What happened this week?
There we go.
All right.
What did you like, not like?
All right. I'm gonna have to give me just a second. I warned the boys before we got started that I have a mini rant session that I have to go on for a particular reason. But we will hold that till the very close to the end. It's not many that I'm going to go over game-wise. I just want to talk about two games in particular more thoroughly than some of the others. For College Corner this week, I got Florida State beats Duke, but not until Riley Leonard goes down yet again with an ankle injury. They were driving to go up 2 scores on Florida State. It was 2017 in the third quarter. Duke had them. They were driving, and then Leonard went down with another ankle injury. I think Duke would have beat them if Leonard had not gotten injured. They weren't Duke's offense didn't seem like they were trying to slow down, and then once he got injured, it kind of the whole momentum.
Duke was up 24-17.
They were up 2017, and then they were currently driving to go
score
for another in the third quarter, and then he got hurt. What concerns me about Florida State thus far as watching them, as you know, I'm not a big Florida State advocate, but I'm also a Clemson fan, so it makes sense.
Fuck Florida State.
Is their late surges. So Florida State has these late little bursts and late little surges late in the second half or in the second half of the football game. That's not going to work all the time. You get to a defense like Michigan, or you get to a defense that's been in those situations before, your late surges are not going to be as prolific, and as consistent. So it's going to be
It's
really
a good team.
interesting.
You got to play a well-rounded game. You can't.
Yeah.
fall behind.
And like I said, kudos for them, pushing through and winning those games and rallying back and coming back. I don't want to take that away from them because they are a good football team. They have a lot of skilled players, but at the same time, it's Florida State, and it's rough for me to condone them in any way. Washington wins 15-7. There were scares all over Week 8, by the way. Washington wins 15-7. Michael Penix Jr. throws 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. They come away with that game.
That's
Oklahoma
small Penix energy.
And this guy's on your Heisman watch. Great.
Small Penix energy.
Oklahoma slips by a UCF team, 31-29. That was interesting. Texas slips by Houston, 31-24.
A lot of close games in the top 10.
Yeah, and Mississippi State beat Arkansas. They're not top 25, but I wanted to mention this because I wanted to mention the final score to you so you could understand this. Mississippi State beats Arkansas 7-3.
Holy defense.
That was the same score at halftime, by the way. They didn't score any points in the second half of the football game.
Hey, to be fair, they didn't score that many points in the first half either. They each scored one time.
But at least they scored something.
Okay, to be consistent, all right, because if it was a very, very high-scoring game, we'd be like, defensive coordinators just quit. Offensive coordinators, bro, what are y'all doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
What are y'all watching? What are y'all watching in the first half?
Episode of The Apprentice, you're fired.
You're fired. Okay, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. What are you watching in the first half where you're not making the adjustments to at least score? At least something.
A field goal.
Something.
To get within the 40-yard line and kick a field goal, it's not easy in a college level. But
be consistent.
You gotta at least be able to get into the 40-yard line to kick a field goal.
I got another low scoring game for you. Nevada breaks its 16-game losing streak this past Saturday with a win over San Diego State. Final score 6-0.
What a game!
2 field goals were scored in that game.
Man, that kicker is being held high. Like, let's go, kicker!
And all those points were also scored in the first half.
Oh my god, dude! If I were the fans,
they were so happy though because they hadn't won in 17 games.
That sounds like my high school. Man.
Until Dakota got there.
Funny enough,
Dakota changed the culture.
Sophomore year, I was on the varsity that we beat somebody and ended like a 33-game win streak or loss streak.
Oh.
So
nice.
I'm just saying, it wasn't
ladies and
because
gentlemen,
of me.
He's him.
It wasn't because of me.
He is that guy.
It was because that we had a very good offense. So my sophomore year, we ran the pistol wishbone, like the flex bone. The triple option, good stuff. We had a quarterback, Ramon Hall. Okay, if anybody that's watching that went to Collin County, Ramon Hall's him at quarterback. He was a safety build, and he would probably have preferred to play safety, but he was pretty good, and so he led us to a lot of points. If you guys know Goose Creek down in the Low Country, they had like the number 4 defense in the state that year, something crazy.
I feel like Goose Creek is always like in the conversation for
100%
state.
Well, not this year. This year they're definitely not doing too hot. Recently, I had a good buddy of mine that played for them, and back when we were playing. Yeah. But we scored like 35 points on the number 4 defense. Granted, their offense scored 77 on our defense, but we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that.
It only matters if you lose.
Exactly. Oh man. But anyways,
so
Nevada, pick up Nevada. You know what? Congratulations, Nevada.
Nevada, dude. That's regardless of how funny it is. That's huge for that program. Just because, like I said, 16 games. Imagine that. 16-game losing streak. You played for this team for 2 years, and you're on
Ask the Bears how that
16-game
feels.
losing streak.
That's
That
the
is just
Bears. Man.
North Carolina takes its first loss of the season to a team who came into Chapel Hill 1-5 in Virginia.
Virginia State or Virginia Tech?
Which
Virginia.
Virginia.
Just Virginia?
Okay.
Yeah, just
Virginia. Virginia. Okay. Beat UNC, which is top 20. Well, was 17 at the time.
Yeah, they're
and top 20. They lost earlier this year, to James Madison, which just squeaked into the top 25.
Yo, isn't that guy dead?
Last week? Yeah.
isn't it?
So, and you show some love to James Madison, man. They're doing their program's
Dude,
going
James
crazy
Madison's
this year.
So that means James Madison would walk into Chapel Hill and beat UNC. Is that what I'm hearing?
Probably.
100%. They probably could. 100%.
100.
100%.
It depends on how much money you're slinging. Anyway, so
Best I can offer is a $2 bill.
that's fair.
$2 bill with James Madison on it.
Ohio State.
Is that,
we
is
already
that,
talked about
is
this.
that who's on the $2 bill?
I have no idea. I think it's like Andrew Jackson. No,
I think it is. No. Look it
no.
up.
Look
Okay.
it up.
If only there was a way to look this up.
If only there was an intern.
The $2 bill is a myth, just like. Never mind, I'm not going to say that. It's too raunchy.
Get your Thomas Jefferson is on the $2 bill.
Jefferson.
Declaration
Declaration of Independence. We're going to steal the Declaration.
Oh, that's funny. That's big.
Okay. I'm ready for this
anyways.
rant. Are you at the rant yet?
Yeah.
Mikey?
Are you at the
I'm very
rant yet?
curious.
Let's get to this rant. Let's skip whatever you're
All right,
about to say.
No,
Okay,
don't
so-
skip it. I'm just. I
Well,
want to be at the rant.
Well, it's actually next after this thing.
Okay.
So
Okay, bet.
the Ohio State beats undefeated Penn State 2012. We already know that. Marvin
that was a
Harrison
good game.
Jr. had a day with 162 yards in receiving.
It was him.
As we already talked about, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, only one can make the Big Ten championship, and possibly only one can make the playoff. So I basically already talked about this. I said mark your calendars for November 11th at noon when Michigan goes to Ohio State, because that's a huge game and a telltale for the Big Ten.
Michigan at Penn State is November 11th.
Oh, is it?
Penn State. Yeah.
Oh,
The 25th, November 25th is
November 25th.
Ohio State, Michigan, which Penn State could make that irrelevant. Well, not irrelevant, but could make it
They
to
probably.
where
It's the
never know.
freaking Big Ten, so they probably will. Anyway, so obviously their competition in that championship games between Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota, and those top three teams in the West, only one game separates them, so it could be literally any of them. All right, so rant time, because I've got to get this off my chest, and this is something that's been building up for weeks, as you already know, because I've already attended one game, and it's rough. So times are tough in Death Valley. If nobody knew, Clemson is 4-3 with 3 losses in ACC play for the first time since 2010. Okay, that is dumb. The Tigers' playoff hopes are done. Conference title hopes are done. Hope in general is gone. It's gone. Just days after Dabo suggested a few losses might cull the herd of ungrateful fans on this team's bandwagon, Clemson fell in overtime to Miami. And that bandwagon is just an empty car speeding off a freaking cliff.
Just to get this in here, fuck Miami. Just to get that.
Oh
in.
yeah, screw Miami. I was rooting for
I don't
Clemson,
like Miami.
and I was behind Clemson, but
What a
Screw
freaking
Miami.
the whole game was. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. For the second time this year, Clemson blew a double-digit lead and lost in overtime. For the third time this year, Clemson lost a game Sweeney knows his team had no business losing to a backup quarterback. For the first time in a long time, there seems to be no clear path forward for a program that dominated the ACC for the past decade. It's frustrating. And the metrics, as we know, suggest a very good football team, with Clemson as 18th in Power Football Index. They are 9th among Power 5 teams in successful play differential and 11th in explosive play differential. Sweeney now's got to basically fix something that doesn't really seem to be broken. Like, we've been in position to win. Like Sweeney said that after in his press conference. But he just said he doesn't have an answer, which that's reassuring. Like, you can point your fingers at whatever side of the ball you want to point it on, whoever you want to point it at. There's not really a true villain because everything is so discombobulated and looks so inconsistent.
Mikey, you got a ghost?
And looks so jumbled. Emma closed the door because she just got home.
That's less cool than a ghost.
It's just frustrating. Like, fans are upset. Like, our fan base, for one, is already – we are spoiled. We are so spoiled because of past successful, like, everything we've done in the past, whatever. You bring in you bring in Garrett Riley, who took the TCU team, who had one that was probably one of the most explosive offenses last year and went all the way to national championship, even though they stunk up that game horrifically bad. You have a 5-star quarterback in Cade Klubnik that just doesn't seem like it's working. DJ was also a 5-star quarterback, and it didn't work. I'm starting to believe it's not the players. I'm starting to believe it's personnel and decisions made in game. It looks so. Watching that Miami game, I don't necessarily think you fire him. I think he's been too successful to fire him based off of one bad season. I would consider this his one bad season. Mind you, he came in taking over a team that basically the coach walked out on us, and he had to pick up from there. So it's just a lot. I mean, Cade had the chance to obviously the play call on 4th and goal in overtime with Miami. It was our run pass option. It was a run pass option. According to Dabo Swinney, which I've never heard him ever say anything remotely, he essentially blamed the player, and I've never heard him do that. Cade was supposed to hand the ball off, and he didn't. He pulled it, which he shouldn't have done.
Saw that interview. Can't do that.
So 4th down to end the game, double overtime. Since week 3, he's accounted for 11 touchdowns and just 1 interception, and it's 70.7 total QBR, which is just right behind UNC's quarterback and Drake May, who, even though they lost, still is a very good quarterback. There's too, like, with Garrett Riley's explosive offense, there's too many short throws. And people are saying there's not enough big plays, but Clemson averages 10 explosive plays per game, which is the same rate as ACC leader Florida State. So Florida State's averaging the same amount of explosive plays as we are. It's there, but I need the conservatory play to go away. Like, we've dealt with that for the past. Last year was conservatory. Yes, Clemson, and that's the thing. That's what I was just about to freaking mention, and it's funny that you put that up there because, as we've seen before, I looked at total stats for the Clemson-Florida State game. I took pictures of it at the game because I was so frustrated because on paper, like the Colts and like the Dallas Cowboys, on paper it looks good, but the reality of it, it's not good. It's not working.
True.
It's not working. Who cares what the paper says?
Who
cares what the paper says?
Truth.
That
That's why
killed
we
me
recycle.
because I saw on my screen like something like move on the bottom right where and I was like, what the hell is going on? Did something just like delete itself? And then I saw the ticker on the bottom scroll pop up, and I was like, oh, thank God, Dakota just added something. My heart dropped, and I was like, oh my God, something just went wrong.
Well, Mikey, you know, you might be a Jaguars fan, but you're getting a taste of what it's like to be a Colts fan right now with Clemson. So we should be a lot better than what it is.
So I've definitely learned to stop looking into the paper and just
that whole rant. I was like, damn, this is what it feels like to be a Patriots fan this year. It's just like awful.
Y'all are supposed to be good on paper, though.
Hey, man. We had high expectations going into the season, like comparatively last year.
That's just the Patriots. Like, I mean, you're supposed to.
Well, so
with the success of the history,
we got Bill O'Brien, and he has he's worked with Mac Jones before at Bama, And so a lot of people thought like, hey, maybe this is like the resurgence of Mac Jones.
Yeah.
He's going to be more closely related to what he did his first year, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that after. Mikey, is your rant over? You got more to talk about, or you want to talk about next week? What you got?
It's essentially done. If I just keep
I
talking about it, it's kind of
I
beating a
want-
dead horse.
If there's anyone from Clemson who can get in contact with Dabo, look at this man's face right here. Look how distraught, upset. This man's over it. Look at his face.
Don't show Dabo our podcast, please.
Show Dabo.
Show Dabo.
I want Dabo on as a
show
guest.
Dabo. Oh my gosh, Dabo as a guest.
Let's get
I
Dabo
wouldn't talk
and
to him.
Shane Beamer
I
at the same
wouldn't,
time.
dude.
I
Shane,
wouldn't talk to him.
I'd love Shane. Shane seems like such a down to earth dude, though.
If y'all could talk
I'm
to
gonna call-
like any one NFL or one coach, could be college or NFL, who would you talk to?
One coach.
One coach.
Currently coaching or can past coach?
Just a live coach.
And a live coach. Okay. I personally would love to talk to Tony Dungy.
Okay. Colts guy, yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
obviously. He's him or what's the dude from Miami? I can never.
Mike McDaniels.
Mike McDaniels. That him.
Yeah.
He seems like a funny dude too.
He does.
So
I
those two.
It's
I think.
obvious, but I would talk to Belichick.
Obviously, that's a good one.
Like he is uncharacteristically funny when he's like, just like doing like non-football related interviews. Dude says like out of pocket shit. It's hilarious.
I watched the episode with the New Heights episode with what's his name? The receiver, the short
Edelman?
receiver, Edelman. Julian Edelman.
Edelnut.
Edelnut. And his like what's the word? Interpretation or impersonation. There we go. Of Bill Belichick is hilarious.
So
he's like, he's coming in here next week. I hope you learn his fucking name. I'm like, dude, that's so funny.
So Mikey, I don't know. We were talking about wrestling before the podcast, but for whatever reason, every WWE wrestler can do a spot-on Vince McMahon impression. I feel like the same is true for like expatriates. Like every expatriate can do just like a spot-on like Bill Belichick impression.
That is true. I saw Tom Brady do one. That was
like they all sound different, but it's also like exactly right.
Oh,
it's different, but it's the same. It's different, but it's the same.
Have you seen him talking to Randy Moss about going to Randy Moss's like Halloween party?
Oh no!
Look that up after. It's hilarious. Mikey, who would you talk to if you could? A coach, all time, alive, whatever.
I think that
it could be college too. It doesn't have to be NFL.
I'm trying not to be biased. It's definitely not Dabo Swinney. I'm not talking to him. Screw that freaking madness.
You can be biased. That's fine.
Yeah, be biased. I was biased.
Dakota said Tony Dungy. I don't even think Colts fans would want to talk to Tony Dungy if given the choice of any coach ever.
So I gotta talk to my guy Doug Peterson for sure. I gotta talk.
I think Christian would also join you in that. He's a big Dougie
guy. Let me get one more though. Let's see. I would like to talk to Paul Johnson. And if you don't know who Paul Johnson is, Paul Johnson was the Georgia Tech head coach for many, many years who essentially perfected the triple option at Georgia Tech. Yeah. And made Georgia Tech one of those teams you didn't want to play in the conference. Yeah. Like you knew when they were coming into town, like you were in a dogfight because of how they played. And now they no longer run triple option because obviously Paul Johnson's not there anymore. Not everybody can coach that. They went back to a spread. Option. But dude, I would love to talk to just Paul Johnson just to get in his mindset, because I think it's a talent and it's a gift to understand even how that style of play even works, and how to get 11 guys to understand their assignments and responsibilities, and that all that movement and all that stuff. There's so much happening, and it's impressive just to see it. It's like a work of art. It just everything moves
like
so
that would also
it just
be
flows so
a cool
well.
reason to talk to Mike McDaniels, because I don't know if you guys like how much Miami games you guys watch, but they have so much motion and pre-snap movement in that offense.
They do a traditional air raid offense where
like I want to
insane.
I want to like just pick his mind and see like how they just come up with plays like that.
Yeah,
and that's insane.
I will say, so before I moved back to Michigan, I was coaching down Louisiana. The head coach that was down there, he's a genius. Like, dude is smart. He's been dealing with the air raid offense probably ever since he started coaching. He started like two or three. Started two programs, brought back one. And his air raid offense, it can be dangerous because you're right. A lot of motion. You got to keep a lot of the same motion, but run different plays. And so the motion doesn't really indicate anything. With those types of offense, though, man, you have to have, like Mikey was saying, 11 guys on the same page and a very smart quarterback. The triple option, especially,
got to be very
especially,
smart.
And his processing speed has to be immense too, because you got to think, especially if you're running your base triple option, you have a guy in motion come around your back. You go fullback, read the fullback, and then you got to immediately pull or go or give. If you pull, then you're reading another guy. And so it's like
you're reading multiple guys at one time, essentially.
Yeah. And then if you throw in
decisions.
Some people like to throw in an RPO with the triple option, and that just is a lot.
Quadruple option?
It's insane. It's insane. So
it's a fun like your Air Force and teams like that. They run triple option.
Yeah, because they do have some smart. With Georgia Tech, I mean, one of the highest, I think, engineering programs in the nation. Very good school. Air Force, I mean, smart kids that go there, to the Air Force Academy. So I mean, you definitely going to have some of these smart kids be ready to play quarterback for you on those teams. So I love triple option, man. That's probably, if I was ever to be an offensive coordinator, I'm running triple option because it's tough to defend against too. Like, you can stack the box all you want.
As a defender, you're like,
well, yeah. So you got to think just from some, like I've never been like in the triple option, but just as someone on the outside looking in, for every thought process the quarterback has to make, the defense has to react to 3 to 4 different potential things.
Yeah.
And they're not only reacting because they have to react to the reaction, basically.
Yep.
Because the offense is going to read the defense, be like, oh, guy's right there, can't hand it off. I'm going to pass it to this guy over here. So defense is on the back foot the whole time during that because they're reacting to a reaction.
Yep.
So that's understandable.
And, a thing is, and this is something that I have read multiple times, talking to coaches, whatever. If you have a stud on the defensive line that you cannot block, right? Like, oh, what do you do if you can't block this guy? Well, guess what? You read him. That's the big thing is, hey, you can't block him, you read him. And
play around him.
Yeah. And so triple option does that so well, because if you have a stud defensive end, well, guess what? He's not going to make any plays because I'm going to read the shit out of him. He crashes down. Well, guess what? I'm pulling and I'm going away and I'm pitching. Like,
with the moment he commits,
guess what? I'm freaking giving the ball off to my fullback and he's gone. that kid will not make a play today in a triple option because you're just reading them. If you can't block them, read them. That's what a big thing is, and so that's why it works so well.
Read them like a book.
So,
speaking of reading like a book, I don't know how this makes sense, but Mikey, what games are you looking for next week on college?
Speaking of multiple options, what games do you? There you go. There you go. Speaking of air raid, speaking of raid in the airs,
your Colorado Buffaloes are back in play this week. They play a ranked UCLA team.
Have y'all seen what Coach Prime looks like after the bye?
No.
He didn't he went away for the bye and he came back looking homeless as fuck. Like he's got like a beard going in and it's all gray and shit.
No way.
Yeah.
Not Coach Prime.
I saw like a Instagram post of like week 9 versus week 11 Coach Prime, and I was like, oh my god, that's not even the same person.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Who is this guy? I just looked up his press conference.
Bro went from Coach Prime to Father Time.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Man.
What the heck?
Right?
Yeah.
Those two
he
games.
went from Coach Prime to Coach Dime because he's panhandling now at the local convenience store. Asking for change.
Bro said Coach Time to can you spare a dime?
Yeah, give me that change.
That's
please.
so funny. That's so funny, man.
Put it in his
all right, but Buffaloes versus UCLA.
Coach Prime to these are trying times.
Yeah. We scrounging for the bottom of the barrel, brother. Scrounging.
That's gonna be a shirt. That's gonna be a shirt.
With his face on it. In the press
just a bunch of lines from Coach Prime to these are trying times. From Coach Prime to can you spare a dime? Coach Prime.
Put his face before the bye week with this saying, and then put the can you spare a dime on the back with the face in the press conference.
Bro went from fucking Coach Prime to it's Christmas time.
It's Christmas.
Freaking Santa. That's
a good one. That's a good one, bro. 10 out of 10. All right, hey, intern Christian. That's a clip. That's a clip. Just let you. That's a clip. There we go. Thank you, intern. Oh, Big man. Ups. Big ups, our intern. Shout out to Christian. He's the one. I know we're trying to get to college, but he is the one that clips and kind of posts our Instagram page. He runs our Instagram page, so big up to him. And so huge shout out. Without him, we wouldn't have the clips. It would be one of us trying to figure it out.
Not a lot of recognition.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's why I definitely wanted to shout him out right now. Big ups to him helping us get our name out there, man.
Just as an important factor of the team as
100%. He's not the face, but he is the inner workings.
He called himself the other day the fourth Jonas.
The fourth Jonas. I did. That's big.
The bonus Jonases. I think
the bonus Jonases. He said. That's funny.
All right. What other games do you got, Mikey, for college, so we can go to the NFL, the bread and butter?
Yeah. We're I'm about finished. I got like 2 more. I do brew an upset this week, with Oklahoma. The undefeated Oklahoma Sooners. They're playing Kansas.
Ooh.
And they're going to
Kansas anymore.
They are.
I guess they will be in Kansas. Yeah, they're gonna play at Kansas.
Kansas is ever since last season, and they've kind of been on an up. So that would be very interesting. Georgia does.
So you're telling me they're not just a basketball school. Georgia,
try not to be. Kansas at one time was really heavy in football. They used to have a really good football program a few years back, but they kind of fell off the wagon. And Georgia plays Florida, and then Oregon plays Utah. And Utah.
I was just about to ask you about that game.
USC. Utah beat USC last week in Caleb Williams. So Caleb Williams loses another game. And
Caleb Williams is reverse
tanking, so he doesn't get drafted to the Bears.
I seen a meme.
He's
I seen a meme
counter-tanking.
today. Listen, I seen a meme today where he was like, it was like I guess it was off a movie or show, but somebody grabbed another person. They went and hid behind like this wall because that like all heck was breaking loose outside. So like it was like Caleb, like they put the name of Caleb.
This man's
Caleb
talking
Williams
about
over
the fucking
top.
TikTok I sent to the group.
Oh, was that you that sent that?
Yeah, it's a
I
scene
don't
from
watch anything you send.
What?
I didn't watch it. I actually no, I didn't watch it because I watched it on my feed.
Is that the thing that you
I didn't see it on your thing.
Sent to the Snapchat?
Yeah, it was like earlier today, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a scene. It's a scene from Jurassic Park where the two kids are hiding out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they hide behind the like the kitchen island.
Yeah.
And it's like dubbed over with it's like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams, and they're like they pull each other close, and then the dinosaur pokes up over the door into the window, but it's just the Bears logo.
It's pretty funny.
Hey, I'm still holding off hope that we have a decent season, the Colts, just the salvageable season, and we somehow trade for like the number 2, number 3 pick, and we pick up Marvin Harrison Jr. It just makes sense that he comes to us. Okay, his father played for us, Hall of Fame.
See,
the best wide receiver to play for us.
What needs to happen is he needs to go play with Archie Manning if he gets into the NFL.
Oh my gosh, we draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and Archie Manning.
No, you can't have Archie Manning too. You got AR5.
Well, listen, that man is freaking sadly, and I really hope
he's already gave up hope.
Out on him already?
No, listen.
Gave up hope.
I am just looking at what's happening. Okay, I'm a realist. Okay. I'm hoping. I'm praying. I am praying that he recovers from this surgery. He comes back. He's smart with how he runs. He runs well. He throws well. All that.
Dakota saw Andrew Luck get hurt one too many times and just retire too early.
It's like the moment Dad says, "I'm leaving for milk and I'm coming back," but never comes back.
I've seen Andrew Luck. I've seen RG3. RG3 probably could have been one of the best quarterbacks.
It is wild that they came from the same draft class.
Yes.
And that's got to be like one of the saddest draft classes ever for quarterbacks.
Those two, I've seen what happened to them, and I see RG3 and I see Andrew Luck a lot in Anthony Richardson, and I'm sorry to say, but if he can't protect himself and if we can't protect him with our offensive line, we're screwed, man. I
lead himself to be.
Well, if that's the case, then every quarterback's screwed, right?
He gets hurt. He comes back.
Well, the thing is, I would assume that I'm hoping we draft a good offensive lineman to shore up a tackle. Our tackles are okay. Like there's a young like Rainman or something like that on the left side. He's coming up. Like, he's showing good. But it's like I think we need a center. Who's at center? I think it's Smith. That's okay.
Get rid of him. That's generic.
I don't know. We're our offensive line needs to shore up just a little bit. We're not terrible, but man, I've just been traumatized as a Colts fan, man. I know what's gonna happen. I'm trying to prepare myself before it happens.
I've also been traumatized as a Patriot. It's been a hard 25 years.
Okay, yeah. All right, but anyways, back to college. Mikey, what's your thoughts on Oregon and Utah?
I think Utah could definitely beat them. I think that could happen.
I have no horse in this race.
I don't know.
I like Oregon. I've always liked Oregon, so I'm a little biased in that. But
it's
also the Pac-12, so
I have like a very like girl outlook on Oregon. I love Oregon just because they always have the best uniforms,
which is dope. Like
they always have something sick over there.
They hit the lottery when they had
uniforms.
Do you know why they had
sick uniforms? Tell me why, Mikey.
I know why, but I wanted to see.
I know why too.
I don't know why. Tell me.
I know why.
So
So,
the
the way
man
he said
over the man
Sounds so
over
gossipy.
Nike. The man over. You said you were girling over there, so I'm trying to keep
yeah,
it
let's
gossip.
girl. Let's girl talk. More Taylor Swift.
So the man
Squirrel
over
hair.
Nike, like he is Nike. He
Yep.
went to Oregon University. That's where he went to school.
So, they get the
So he
hookup for him.
basically is their he's their hookup for the uniforms. And
They always have something sick.
Maryland's uniform, they are sponsored by Under Armour, and the head guy over Under Armour went to Maryland, so they get their uniforms for lookout as well.
Did y'all
A lot of
see
people-
what team was it? Iowa? I think it might have been Iowa. They had like different helmets for the position groups.
I
Y'all see
didn't
that?
see that.
It might not be Iowa. Their logo looks like a red grimace. Big red. I don't. Is that Iowa?
Iowa's yellow and black.
Let me look up. Hold on.
Yeah, I'd like to find out so I can look into that.
What is he talking about? I'm sorry.
A college team had different helmets for different skills positions this week.
Different helmets for different skill positions.
Like a different logo on the helmets.
Is that legal?
They did it.
I feel like as long as it's the same color scheme, right? No?
I mean, probably. I don't know the
Western Kentucky
Let's go.
was the.
Western
college,
Kentucky.
man.
I don't know why I had Iowa on the brain. Let's see if I can-
Ooh, Lord.
Oh, the grimace.
Yeah, they Big Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like one like for the offensive lineman, and he's like in a 3-point stance. One like for the running backs.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, the little punter one.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is pretty nice. I like that. That's kind of neat.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That is neat.
Well, look at that guy's visor. That guy's visor is the grimace size. That's kind of cool.
it's Big
Okay.
Red. Put some respect on Big Red.
Yeah, the red grimace. That's what we
Red
said.
Grimace.
The grimace. You know what they're
Red
not? They're
grimace.
actually
I saw a TikTok of
They're-
that.
Grimaces.
they're the Hilltoppers.
The Hilltoppers? And they have
Yeah,
grimace?
that's their
Speaking of
that's their
Hilltoppers,
mascot.
speaking of Hilltoppers, week 7
What do
review.
you think about that week 7? Oh, wow.
There you go.
Week 7 review.
Week 7 review.
Some good games this
Big-
week, boys. Some
Big
good
win
games.
from Jax.
Hey.
Big win from Jacksonville. Although the Saints kind of threw it.
Yeah.
Even though we tried to freaking give it to them in the second half, like we've been doing all season.
Oh my goodness. Can we just talk? And dude was like very pissed off on the sideline.
You see him after the game? Did you see him after the game? Buddy was like
No.
losing it.
Devastated.
He was like his
Was he
like face
crying?
between his legs. Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
It was like,
I feel-
Alvin
feel
Kamara
bad
had to
for
come
him.
over here. Had to come over and like walk him to the locker room.
I do feel bad for him, but like, dude, you got to make that catch.
You got to.
Like that's
Right.
you got two hands on it too. He had two. It's not even like it was like almost one hand or stretching out. I could understand that, but it's a wide open, two hands on the ball to win the game. To win the game.
It was this week was a big week for like the shitty teams. The Giants won.
The Giants did win.
Yes, sir.
Broncos won.
Big up Broncos.
Patriots won.
The Bears won.
The Bears won. Like all the 1-win teams won except for I think Arizona didn't win.
Arizona did
Carolina
not win,
was on
yeah.
bye, so they didn't have a chance to win.
They
And
lost.
they still lost.
They
I heard
lost their bye.
I was gonna say-
Yeah.
I heard they lost. All right, so I'm gonna kind of take this segment over just for a little bit,
Go for
and
it.
I'm sorry, guys, but can we talk about the 39-38 Cleveland Indiana game?
I
Are you
didn't
ranting?
watch all of it.
Yes, I'm
Please,
about to
rant.
rant. I'm
Rant.
about to
Go
rant.
for it.
Rant,
First
rant.
off, okay. I want all refs fired from the NFL. Okay,
All of them.
get them out of here, all of them. Get them all out of here.
Get robots in here.
Every single one of them. Okay,
Let's
replace
play
them
flag football instead.
for with anybody
Huge.
else, please. I don't care, but okay. First off,
Let's get former
Right.
players to be refs.
so amen. That's a great idea. That's a
Our
great
coaches?
idea.
No?
Or former
Or coaches.
little coaches.
Anyone who's been
action.
involved with the actual
Um,
playing of the game.
I would, and also we should, like I said before, which really wasn't an original idea. I kind of got it from just other people talking. Full-time refs. These refs, 90% of them work other jobs. This is just like what they do on Sundays. They're not full-time. Okay? Pay them, give them benefits, the whole 9 yards. Make them full-time, make them train, make them practice, make all that. So that way they get the calls correct.
Yeah.
Okay? Second, all right, the first foul, and this is going towards the end of the game. The first foul, it is what it is. DeForest Buckner put hands, illegal contact, whatever. Put the Browns on the 1 yard line. Okay, negated the fumble, which kind of pissed me off.
Seals the game.
But that would have been done. We're good. But it's okay. Whatever. We can stop. Okay, we go down. First and goal on the 1, we stop them. Second and goal, stop them. Third and goal, stop them. Okay, they get just the easiest freaking pass interference call. Excuse me, the first one moved him, I think, to the 9 or something. The pass interference call is the one that put him on the 1. And again, we stopped them 3 times, and then they got in. That was not pass interference. A 6'10" guy couldn't reach that ball, let alone this. I just don't understand how you mess that up. I
need to know when NPI, when the catchability of the ball is a factor or not.
Yes,
because I'm told that it is a factor
always.
But then you see like a fucking 10-yard airmail over the head.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's catching that?
Yes.
Victor Wembanyama, whatever that fucking 7'4" guy from NBA.
Guy.
He couldn't even catch that shit.
No. And the thing was so overthrown that you were not catching that. Okay. And so at what point, and especially this late in the game, all right, this late in the game, just like how they review all fumbles, all this, all that, review the flag. Okay. If you don't get a consensus, even from they talk to freaking New York. If they don't get a solid, yes, this is a flag, this is a good call, pick up the flag. It's done with. It's not a flag.
Yeah,
Within that 2-minute mark, you review every freaking thing, because I am sick and tired of 1-2 flags deciding a game when this whole dog fight has been letting the players play. Right, yeah. I've seen it not just in this game, but in all games this year that has been decided at the last second by a flag.
Every Chiefs game.
It's a hey, let him play. Last 2 minutes, you can freaking pinky touch somebody. Oh, illegal contact. Oh,
yeah, like I just want some sort of like consistency. Yes. Like if you're gonna call flags on certain things in the last few minutes of the game, call that the whole game.
Exactly.
I feel like we wouldn't be as pissed off if it wasn't so inconsistent.
Exactly.
And it's not even inconsistent. Like it's like inconsistent from quarter to quarter.
Yeah.
From
it's
refereeing team to refereeing team. It's like you don't know what you're gonna
get a call from somebody at like the end of the third quarter, but hey, your quota is not matching. You got to throw some more flags, and they're not hitting their quota in the first 3 quarters, so they got to throw a bunch of flags.
It's like how people think, police officers have quotas for pulling over people.
Yeah,
you haven't called enough.
The 30th of the month, you haven't
called enough PI this game.
Oh my god,
that's illegal, by the way, just for the record.
That is stupid. That's so stupid. Okay, and I think this again. I think Pat McAfee. I've heard it from Pat McAfee. I've heard it from like articles. You get full-time refs. You keep a full-time refs on staff and they're working. They're reviewing the play or the rule book. They're reviewing situations. They are working throughout the week so they can make the best calls. And I think that solves 90% of this.
I think even the smallest step is within the final 2 minutes of the game. Just like you said, all turnovers and touchdowns are reviewable. Flags need to be reviewable in the final 2 minutes.
Yes.
It's going to slow the game down a little bit, but I'd rather slow the game down just a little bit and have correct, consistent calls.
True.
Or at least right calls.
Yeah.
I don't care about consistency as long as the calls are right at the end of the game.
Yes.
Into the first half.
If a game is decided by a flag, but it's like clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's a flag.
You can't. There are certain things you can't do.
Off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think, a few years ago they let pass interference be challenged. I think all flags should be able to be challenged.
Big.
They tried it for a year and then they got rid of it.
Big.
Because they didn't overturn any of the calls. I think the refs were so stuck in their mind that they were correct that they didn't want to overturn any calls that got challenged. Which at that point, I think if calls are being challenged, you send that shit to New York. Let them decide if it's
100%,
overturned or not. Because there are calls that are very obviously like, this is bullshit. Like,
100%.
This is ruining the game.
The freaking pass interference that was uncatchable. It's uncatchable. Yeah. If it's not catchable, the pass interference does not fucking matter.
Yeah.
Okay?
If your quarterback does not throw it where he can catch it,
like
this year feels very flag heavy of like deciding games. Like there's 100%. Been a few Chiefs games. Yeah. This week there's like 2 or 3 games. Yeah. Like it's getting to a point where like it's atrocious.
As a Colts fan, I'll be the first to admit this. We should have won that game. It should have not been that close. With how we were playing, we made mistakes though. A lot of stuff we beat ourselves. And I mean, Myles Garrett had 2 strip sacks.
That dude.
that dude is crazy.
I'm surprised he's not getting
Minshew had an interception. There was stuff that was definitely our fault that we messed up, and we made it. Honestly, watching that game, bro, we were destroying that defense that made the 49ers just a week earlier look, terrible.
But before that game, they had only allowed before this week they had only allowed 1,057 total yards.
Which is insane.
Through 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's an average of less than 200.
And so
and then I saw the score late in the game and I was like it was like 30 to somewhere in the 30s to somewhere in the 30s. I was like, that's insane. Against that Browns defense with that backup quarterback.
I mean, we had almost 500 yards, all-purpose yards, and so it's like, dude, we were putting it to them. But again, turnover battle, man, we got to win that. Like, because if we can't win that, if we're giving up the ball, we're putting our defense in a terrible situation because our defense is really good. Like, our defense, I think, is slept on. EJ Speed, DeForest Buckner, the Julius, our corner, our rookie corner. They're playing good. But if we put them in terrible situations where they're backed up against the goal line when we're putting a short field, like they're not gonna. I don't care whose defense it is, they're not gonna stop that every time.
Yeah,
and so it's rough, man. It's rough. I feel like we should definitely shouldn't be 3-4 this year.
When your rant is over, because I got one also. So, I got a rant I want to go.
Last thing I'll say is the Colts should be at least number 3 or number 2 seed in the AFC right now, but we beat ourselves in these games, bro. 100%. So, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the Colts rant.
My rant now. and it's about my team. It's about Patriots. What the fuck are we doing? Like,
y'all won. Y'all won. Congratulations.
yeah, we won. Don't tell me what I know already.
Yes, we won. But our season is over. Like, yeah, mathematically we're still in this. We can make it.
You're in it, man.
We are
You
still
said,
on.
what the fuck are we doing?
But why? Like, we should have just started tanking. Go get better draft picks. Because I can tell you for a fact, we're gonna finish like 8 and 9, somewhere like in the middle of the pack. We're gonna get like
8,
a really
9?
shit. What?
You're gonna finish 8-9?
Yeah, because that's what's gonna happen. Like, that's what Belichick's gonna pull out of his ass somehow. We're gonna miss the playoffs, have a mediocre record. We're gonna have a shitty ass pick in the draft, like 17th or something. And we're not gonna be able to get anyone like super amazing. Like, we're not gonna be able to get a good quarterback. They're gonna be all gone. We're not getting Marvin Harrison Jr. He's gonna be gone. Like, these pieces that we could be getting, we're just not getting. Because we're going to have, because I guarantee Belichick's not the tanking type of coach. He hates losing.
Well,
he wants to get that Don Shula record of most games won. And it's just
he's not going to tank.
No,
I don't think NFL players are going to tank. I don't think they necessarily tank.
This season is over by any means.
But you could get, who knows where Michael Penix Jr. is going to go.
That's fair. I've seen him
the draft, right?
I've seen him like in the 30s in mock drafts.
So I mean, you could get a steal for him.
We could. It's possible.
It's a possibility you get him, which from his
and
play.
I will say this week helps solidify my argument for trading Mac Jones. If Mac Jones or a 10-piece nugget, if Mac Jones can keep up these kind of streams of performances, or like even like a few more games like this, because he outplayed Josh Allen. I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but he had like more yards, no interception. I think he was like 2-0 touchdowns, interceptions.
Luckily, I do. Okay, so Josh Allen on 41 attempts completed 27.
Okay.
Total yards was 265 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Okay.
Mac Jones completed 25 of 30.
Ooh, that's good.
272 yards.
More yards, less
and 2
completions.
touchdowns, no interceptions.
Outplayed. That's
outplayed.
Like
he also had 3 carries for 11 yards, while Josh Allen had 7 carries for 17 yards.
Mac Jones, known for his wheels. So like, as much as I wanted to go all in on Mac Jones, he has not shown us.
He's consistent. He's not.
He's not consistent.
He's
consistently inconsistent. And I will say it's not all on him. The Patriots don't have good receivers. And that was one of the reasons Tom Brady left, is because he didn't have the help. And Bill Belichick hasn't gone out and gotten the help.
Well,
like
what about the Chiefs? They don't have good receivers. Patrick Mahomes is still balling out. So you can't make, no receivers.
Half of every fucking game, half his yardage is to Travis Kelce. The past 2 games, he's thrown like 150 yards.
You guys have Mike Gesicki.
In no way are we putting Travis Kelce and Mike Gesicki on the same fucking universe.
Gesicki no longer has the worst gritty.
Mac Jones has the worst gritty.
Oh,
did you see Mac Jones?
I did. It was great.
No.
So Mike Gesicki's gritty is objectively horrible, but I love it. I love it because of how
Mac
horrible
Jones
it is.
Was not even. I don't even know what he was doing. I don't even know what that was.
I don't even know how to describe that.
Just put his arms out, was just running.
No, like give any fucking NFL quarterback Travis Kelce, and they're balling out too. Travis Kelce is what?
Any?
Yeah, they're not balling. They're not balling out to the level of Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
But
Respect. Respect.
They're going to be like a top 10 quarterback because
respect.
he's just that level of tight end. Like,
and obviously he has Taylor Swift to bump him up.
He has Taylor Swift. Did y'all see the stat where like in the games
with Taylor Swift without
like
Taylor
99 yards averaged versus 49 yards average?
I saw it was more than that. I saw it was like 110 average yards with Taylor Swift and 43 yards without.
Yeah, dudes went off for like 150 something yards the past 2 weeks. Like,
just saying.
Hey,
Swifties.
If I was dating Taylor Swift and I was out there playing football, I'm balling out too. Like,
that's true. I mean,
I'm balling out for Taylor Swift.
If you have, like, let's say you're doing something and your crush, your significant other, or something's around, you're gonna try a little bit more.
You want to look good.
Like, it's like in the gym. Okay, you're in the gym. You're about to hit a set, and you know you see a fine girl walking. You're gonna hit the absolute monster out of that set.
For whatever reason,
it's just how it is.
In our little boy brains. Like, girls go by and we're like, oh my god, we got to do the most testosterone filled thing possible right now.
It's that testosterone boost we get,
and it's just like
so.
Mac Jones isn't being helped, but Mac Jones he's not transcending like some other quarterbacks probably could. He's not the guy we thought he would. Okay.
Do you think another quarterback in the same situation as Mac Jones would be more successful? And who would that be? Like that you have a trade in mind. Do you have a trade for a quarterback in mind, or do you have
not a realistic trade? But like,
all right, makes sense.
Like, put Lamar Jackson.
All right, more of a realistic.
Well, you said the quarterbacks. Yeah, there's obviously quarterbacks I think could fit and do better than Mac Jones could. Like the top 10, 15 quarterbacks could do better. Like,
no,
Mahomes.
I said trade though. Like,
okay,
trade in mind that you would trade for that you think would improve the situation just by that quarterback, because you said that he doesn't have the receivers. It's not really his fault. Well, who would you trade him for? Would you trade him for another quarterback, or would you just get more of a trade for a weapon?
It's partly his fault. He has as much to blame as is the lack of receiving core.
Okay. Well, I don't watch a lot of Patriots games, and so I don't know.
It's sad.
Is it the receivers? Is he putting dimes and they're dropping balls like we've seen with Lamar's receivers, or is he overthrowing receivers?
Depends on the game. It honestly depends on the game, because the first like 3 games when we like were like feeling good about ourselves, like we were like 1-2. They were games and throws where like, wow, he fucking made a dime.
Yeah.
Against the Eagles, there was like 3 passes that Booty. We had a receiver named Booty.
General Booty?
No, different Booty.
So different.
There any relation?
It is. No. I don't think so. He placed like 3 different perfect balls for this man.
Yeah.
1, he just didn't come down with it. 2, he stepped out early, didn't drag his feet properly. And then the other one, he just fucked it up.
Oh.
Like that like could have won us the game. Just those 3 catches.
Yeah.
They were like game-changing catches that Mac Jones played perfectly. Just didn't catch. And it's just like it's sad, because I think if we gave the receiver help to Mac Jones, he could have thrived this year. With Bill O'Brien.
Now,
but
let me go back to the question of what would you want to see out of a trade for? You want draft stock, or do you think this season can be salvaged a little bit so you trade him and get some help and bring in, who is it? Bailey Zappi is your guys' backup?
Bailey Zappi.
And
we
so
just released
him in.
We just released Malik Cunningham today, actually, which was our 3rd string. And he popped off in the preseason. I'm sad we let him go. I hope we bring him back through some roster moves, because he looked very electric in the preseason.
Honestly, at this point, what I would do to fix the Patriots, nothing's happening this season. We trade Mac Jones, get something from him. Maybe a first, maybe a couple seconds, as much as we can for Mac Jones. I know you guys don't think we're going to get that much. I have faith that someone will trade us
a third max.
I don't think it's that low. I don't.
You're getting a third max for him.
I don't think. I think it's some sort of either first, maybe a second and a third, something like that. We trade Mac Jones, let Bailey Zappi play the rest of the season. We try to draft a quarterback, and then we go out and try to trade or sign a free agent receiver. Because Belichick has shown he doesn't know how to draft receivers. Our best receiver in the past 25 years has been Randy Moss, and we signed him for like 2 years. So, yeah, I would definitely try to acquire someone. Did y'all see A.J. Brown cried when the Patriots didn't draft him? We drafted N'Keal Harry over A.J. Brown, and he cried because he wanted to go to the Patriots.
No.
I read that, and I fucking cried because I was like, we could have had A.J. Brown. If we had A.J. What?
Just a number here. Geno Smith.
My boy.
Geno Smith was a part of that trade to the Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Russell Wilson was thrown in there. So Russell Wilson, proven quarterback, right? Gets a third round pick and what, 2 players?
It was like 4, I think. They definitely traded Noah Fant.
Yeah.
No, Geno Smith wasn't in that trade.
No, wasn't in that trade?
It was Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, that's right.
Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and 2 other guys. It was 4 players, and I think some picks for 1 person.
Some picks.
I think that's what that. I can look it up real quick.
I'm trying to look through these trades here. That were
look up that trade while you do that.
Yeah, look up the. Because I just don't see Mac Jones going for any more, and I'm just trying to see if there's any what's the word, precedence for it.
So the Broncos agreed to trade Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th-round pick for Russell Wilson and a 2022 4th-round pick. So they traded 3 players and 5 picks for Russell and a pick.
And look how that played out for him. All right. Oh, this is a good trade, or this is a good thing to look at. Trey Lance. He's traded the Cowboys.
I don't think that's the same.
No Cowboys.
I don't think it's the same.
You don't think that Trey Lance is comparable to Mac Jones?
I don't think it's comparable because Trey Lance played like 3 games, got hurt, and lost his starting job, and then proceeded to lose the backup job to Sam Darnold.
Still looking at this, even if you don't put them on the same level, I don't think they're far off. They gave a 4th rounder for him. 1 4th rounder for him.
Yeah, but my thing is,
looking at that, I don't think you're getting a 1st rounder. If you're
trading Mac Jones, you're trading a starting quarterback. The team that's trading for him obviously sees some sort of value in Mac Jones of some sort, and is trading for Mac Jones.
Yeah.
The trade with the Cowboys and Niners, they were obviously trading for a backup. They were trading for Trey Lance to come in and be a backup to Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's trading for Mac Jones unless they think that he's going to start or can be like do something for that offense.
Mhm.
And I think a first round is probably more unlikely, but I think we could definitely get 2 seconds. 2 second-round picks for him.
See, I would put 2 seconds on a very similar plane as a first. So
I don't know.
Maybe you get a second and a third. But
I think there's definitely
I don't think you
some
get
combination of
that.
picks. I think there's a package of picks.
A package of picks. So more
whether it's 2 2s, a second and a third. Excuse me. Or even just like a player. Like, I don't think Mac Jones is worth. I don't know who's trading a player for Mac Jones, but it could happen.
Yeah, I would see a player more than those high of a pick.
It just depends on who the player is, like what they're trading for. I could see a quarterback for quarterback, maybe like 2 teams. Like maybe this season the Bears are just off Justin Fields and we trade Justin for Mac or something like that.
That's not a bad trade. That's a pretty realistic trade, to be honest.
But if that's a realistic trade, I think people would trade a first round for Justin Fields.
Well,
so if you're trading a first round for
Justin
Fields,
player for player, I feel like doesn't hold the same weight as a player for pick. I think a pick holds a little bit more weight, just because of the potential there, especially a first rounder.
I can see both sides of that.
So I think personally, no one's trading a first round pick for Justin Fields or fucking what, I forgot his name already. Mac Jones. Mac Jones. I don't think either of them will get a first round pick out of them, but I think out of the two.
Out of the two, I think Justin Fields definitely gets a first round, way more than Mac Jones, because he has more potential over Mac Jones.
More. I think he could get 2 2s.
2 2s.
2 2s, but
who
knows?
That's it. Clip it. Christian,
my rant has gone on too long. Let's talk about the rest of the games. Detroit did not show up in Buffalo.
My goodness. Is that an understatement?
They looked like the Lions of old.
They
did not look like they were biting kneecaps that game.
They looked very lost.
They looked like they were biting their own kneecaps.
There was multiple times where Lamar, all he had to do was sidestep, and that was the most pressure avoidance that he had to do. And he still had 5 to 6 seconds to throw it off.
Yeah.
And somehow finds an open receiver multiple times. That was
a good team.
That was a terrible. I don't know if it was a combination. I think it was a combination of the Ravens are clicking as an offense together, and the Lions just didn't play well at all. Like they just, the rush wasn't there. You have to get rush to Lamar. You have to.
That's one of those games.
Is pinnacle to win a game against the Baltimore Ravens. Number one on your board of goals for that game is pressure on Lamar. Immediately.
You're telling me you win a game by pressuring the opposing quarterback?
Especially him. Because, dude, go ahead. Let him take off, right? Put a QB spy up. Let him run into the QB spy. That's what you do against those types of quarterbacks, right? They got almost zero pressure on
Hey, we have to get that sort of message out to any team that plays the Kansas City Chiefs. Because I swear to God, they know that man's going to run at least 3 or 4 or 5 times, but there is never anyone around to try to tackle him. He runs for like first downs on like 15, like 3rd and 15. Where's the spy?
He's running 5 miles an hour. One speed.
He looks very slow when he runs. I'm just like, where's everybody else?
Where's everybody else?
He looks like that squirrel that sits in the middle of the road and just kind of goes back and forth for a second before it decides where it wants to go. It's like turning his head.
That's funny.
He's like trying to find somebody to hit him, but nobody will hit him.
Let's see. Miami versus Philly. That was a.
Ooh, that was a.
I wasn't expecting
game.
to be that much of a difference in points. I thought it was going to be closer.
Hey, if you guys noticed, the Philly Dolphins game is the same score as the Chiefs Chargers game. So,
is it really?
Yep, 31-17 on both. So, fun fact.
Fun fact. Yeah, that's.
What about Kirko?
Kirko. Before Kirko.
Are we really just going to gloss over the Eagles game like that?
Before Kirko, the Bears-Raiders game had two quarterbacks.
We're glossing over the Eagles.
We'll get
Dolphins
back to
game?
it. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
Bears-Raiders was before earlier in the day. Okay, I'm just going back to that one.
Okay.
A Division II quarterback at the helm of the Bears versus Brian Hoyer, which is I think on a 12 game.
He was 0-12 as a starter. His past 12 starts.
Past 12 starts.
Brian Hoyer.
He's 0-12, and a Division II quarterback,
a renowned Patriots backup, Brian Hoyer. He's been on the Patriots a lot, often.
Good old Brian Hoyer, who has played for the Colts, the Steelers.
He's played for a good amount of teams also.
The Houston Texans, the Browns, the Cardinals, if I haven't mentioned those. San Francisco.
What shitty middle-aged white quarterback hasn't played for the Browns?
True. That is true. I'm surprised Matt Ryan didn't go spend a season.
Surprised Fitzmagic never went. I don't think.
Hey, Fitzmagic, don't you put Fitzmagic down, okay? All right.
I'm not putting him down, but Fitzmagic belongs in the same conversations like Josh McCown.
I will say, Minshew is like
he's a new Fitzmagic. Yeah. he's got that swagger, and the team likes him. And he's not going to go out and win you very many games.
No, but
he's not going to lose you the game that often either.
Exactly.
He's just going to go play some average football.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The definition of mid, if mid was sparkly.
Mid.
Mid with some jazz hands.
Mid. That's funny, dude.
Okay, anyway. Back to
the Eagles Dolphins game.
Who do we think this says more about, the Eagles or the Dolphins? Because these are two potentially, definitely playoff teams, potential Super Bowl teams. Who do we think it says more about?
Man, I think AJ Brown had a day.
He's been having days.
Had a day against them, bro. Had a day. It's tough to really say. I don't think you can argue Miami hasn't really played top-notch offenses.
They've not,
and so their defense hasn't really been prepared for this.
Out of the 5-1 teams, their record, the records of the teams they've played against was the worst.
Yeah,
no team had over more than 2 wins out of the teams that they've beaten.
Yeah, so I would argue the best offense they came up against, they lost.
Yeah,
48-20 against the Bills.
They got trounced.
And so you have the offense. The offense is there.
Miami's defense is trash.
But yeah, I think that's what's going to keep them out of a deep run with the
playoffs.
Because the Patriots, because of their defense.
The Patriots. It was a 1-score game against the Patriots. And the Patriots always have a good defense, so that's they held the Dolphins down to 21 points, I think. But you can't let the fucking Patriots get that close to you in a game when you have that high power of an offense.
Yeah.
The defense is selling them.
place. Yeah, 100%. Defense is going to be the reason why they either don't make the playoffs.
Oh, they're making the playoffs. They're in the lead of the division.
Are they?
Like
I thought I saw. Oh,
no, I think
right.
the Bills are 4-3 in the.
Yeah.
They're 5-2 now, so they're up by a game at least.
Well, let's look at who they play. They play the Chiefs.
I want to. That game's going to be very interesting on how my mindset on how they do in the playoffs. Because if you can't beat the Chiefs in the regular season, you have no shot in the playoffs.
I see a potential 1, 2, 3, 4 more losses. Potentially 5 more losses coming their way.
What teams?
And that the Chiefs, I think the Cowboys can do it. I think the Bills. I think the Bills can go 2 for 2 on that. I think the Ravens are going to do it.
Yeah.
And potentially, depending on how the Commanders decide to show up that day, you never know.
This is a Patriots fan in me, but I think the Patriots have a better shot of beating the Dolphins than the.
You're talking about the Commanders who held the team that just beat them 31-17.
The Commanders who just lost 7-14 to the Giants.
Hey, listen,
a backup.
That's what I said. What did I say, Cody? What did I say? If they decide to show up that day, all right. They decided to show up against the Eagles. If they decide to show up against the Dolphins,
we will see. They play each other this week. I'm pretty sure. Philly and Washington. We'll see how good they run it back. So
yeah, I'm just saying. If they decide to show up, which again, those division games mean more, and so they play a little bit harder, and so that could be the kind of why the Commanders did so well.
Which is why I think the Patriots have a better shot.
A better shot is those divisional games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could see that. I mean, if they lose those 4 games, I think they might skip out on the playoffs. So especially with AFC,
the AFC is being
stacked as how it is, and so
because for whatever reason, you have the Browns and the Steelers both, I think, at like 4-2 or something, like just outside.
4-2, yeah, just outside the Ravens. And then the Bengals are 3-3.
The Bengals are going to come back. They're going to be in the playoffs.
3-3. You have the Jaguars sitting at 5-2. Texans and Colts are 3-3 and 3-4 respectively.
The AFC is only as in the fact that you don't know who's going to be in there because there's a lot of good teams. Whereas the NFC
only division that is almost clear cut at this point is the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Chiefs are 6-1. The Raiders are 3-4.
They're not
the next closest.
They're not losing.
Yeah, no.
Chiefs are most likely going to get the number 1 seed again, and it's going to be AFC Championship in Arrowhead again.
Probably. I would assume that. While you see the NFC,
it's wide open. Anyone can be in there.
It's almost clear cut. Like
there's 3.
The East is the closest.
There's 3 guarantees.
East and West is the closest. The Panthers. Well, the South is kind of
not the Rams. The Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Niners are going to be in it, and the other 4 teams is a fucking toss up at this point.
I would assume the Lions.
Yeah.
I assume the Lions are going to take the North.
Most likely.
So, but anyway,
someone has a really easy schedule. I was watching First Things First earlier, and someone had a really easy schedule, but they play the Lions. So anyway, so yes, that's this week. That just happened. Are there any other games you guys want to talk about? I don't.
Primetime, Kirko.
Yes,
Mr. Primetime.
Coda called her shot.
Yeah,
and got the upset right.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I looked back and saw what she said for a score, because it had to be pretty close. Like it was only 22-17 was the score, and
I can't remember.
I want to say she said 17 for the 49ers.
I think so.
24-17 is what she said. I think
it was close. I think it was really close.
Which was very close.
I make my bet and then I immediately forget who I say.
Oh, 100%. Me too. I remember I took the Jags only because I said, "Hey, Mike, you're gonna like this." I take the Jags over the Saints.
Hey, you got that one.
Which, yeah,
you got yours.
let's go,
I
bud.
for the life of me can't remember who I called because it wasn't the Patriots.
I
would have won
remember
if I had
who
the Patriots.
100%.
I think I might have called Detroit over Baltimore because I think they were 3.5 point underdogs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
I don't remember.
We'll
we
look
gotta
it
keep like
yeah, Mikey, in your
notepad
notes
of it.
in your
Yeah,
little
I gotta-
notes, keep track.
All right.
All right. Well, you know, it
Come on,
was a game though, man. That was
Jordan
fun. That was fun
Jordan
to keep
Addison fucked me. I will say that.
up.
In my other league, going into Monday Night
Oh.
Football, it was 85 to 89.
Don't even talk about fantasy around me. Dude.
Um,
I freaking am so.
And I had Alexander Madison and KJ Osborne left to play. And they had Jordan Addison. And Jordan Addison went up for like 20 to 30 something points. While
my good players, like players that have won me games, were on bye weeks this week for some reason.
Oof.
And I was like, bro.
I don't know if you saw, like, if you looked at it, but me and Christian played this week. And he had like 5 people on bye, and I looked at that and I felt so bad for him. I was like, "Oh, buddy."
Dang. No, literally, I lost a 1-5 team. I don't even think they look at their freaking thing. But I lost mainly because listen to this.
Listening.
Okay. Sam Howell. I was like, it's the Giants.
So up and down.
It's the Giants. Come on, buddy. You need to pull this through for me. He gets 9 freaking points. 9 points. Okay. It's just, let me go through this. Last week.
You beat, I think you beat Steven this week though, right? In my league?
Evans, I thought I did win in that league, which I wasn't supposed to. It was projected almost the whole time that I was going to lose.
You beat Steven, who was 4-2.
So I was looking at this. Evans didn't even give me a freaking point. The Packers defense against Denver, guys, gets me 1 point. Okay, like the only shining light of my team was freaking Barkley and Pittman Jr., and that's it. I left so much points on the bench.
No shots against the Colts, but you have a shitty team when your shining light is Michael Pittman Jr.
What? Scoring 14 to 15 points is pretty damn good for a receiver. Okay.
No, what
now
I'm saying, if your star player for the week is Michael Pittman Jr., your team is in trouble.
And Pittman Jr. wasn't even the guy on the Colts, and he still got 15 points. It was freaking Josh Downs this week with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's the waiver wire pickup for this week.
So, which I had Josh Downs in my other league because my name is Never Back Downs. And so I benched him though because I was like, it's the Browns defense. He did get a touchdown.
That's the exact reason I benched Jonathan Taylor in my league. I was like, there's no shot. He's going off. He's splitting the backfield with Zach Moss. He's not popping off.
And I had Cooper Kupp and Amon St. Brown and a third. And I think
both of those?
I think I had Zay Flowers in. And so I was like, I'm not starting Downs over Cooper Kupp or Amon St. Brown. But guess what? Amon St. Brown's the only one that actually did fucking something. Cooper Kupp got me like 5 points.
Puka Nacua went off this week, baby.
It's like,
Puka, dude, we love football.
It's ridiculous, man. I will say waiver wire pickup of last week was actually Dante Foreman of the Chicago Bears.
I'm debating on picking him up this week.
33
trying to.
Points.
33
points.
It's definitely going to be a snapshot reaction to try to pick him up because of that one game. But I'm also worried about if he's going to continue that success. I doubt it.
I don't think he does. I don't think he'll
be like Devin Achane.
because the Chargers is who they play next, and I just don't see him. Doing it.
Speaking of the Chargers game, since we're running long on time here, like usual, week 8, baby.
Week 8. There it is.
What games are we looking at, boys? I see a few I'm excited for.
Let's see.
Cincinnati versus San Fran would be a good game.
Cincinnati, yeah, the Browns Seahawks. That's going to be a pretty good game, I think.
I want to see what Buffalo does in Tampa, or Tampa does in Buffalo.
2 rookie quarterbacks going up against each other against Texans and Panthers.
Yeah, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for Kansas City and Denver, just because of how close last game was at Arrowhead.
That's true.
Maybe in Denver can pull it off. Doubt it, but who knows? Mikey, are you excited for the Jacksonville game at Pittsburgh?
Oh, what is going on?
Mikey hasn't said a word in like fucking 40 minutes.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't want to say I'm excited for that game because my luck, we would freaking. Hey, you want a W? It's been a minute for you. But not really in reality because they're 4-2. So I mean.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of
winning.
witch doctor Mike Tomlin hired.
I don't know. Dude. Mike Tomlin is that guy that you just can't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what team.
They should not be 4-2 right now. They just should not.
They shouldn't. They looked atrocious at the beginning of the year.
They look atrocious in every game. It's not even the beginning of the year. Like
no, but they looked really bad.
There's a reason.
Jacksonville find them a way to keep them in the ball game. They'll probably end up freaking winning. Watch.
Well, there's a reason why Fire Matt Canada has been a chant in every Pittsburgh stadium, not even football related. They were chanting Fire Matt Canada during one of the Pat McAfee shows at one of the college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like a Pennsylvania team. I think they were like at Washington and they were chanting Fire Matt Canada.
That's fair.
That's funny.
Philly versus Washington hopefully will be a good game.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, it was a good game last time. I mean, kept it close, kept it very, very close, and so
I want to see how
this time it is at the Commanders. So
that could be the change they need.
They need,
I
to win.
don't think so. I think the Eagles still go in and win, probably by a bigger margin this week. But
yeah, I believe. Let me look at the spread. They are a 6.5 point favorites. The Eagles.
I want to see the New England versus Miami game. I want to see.
Dolphins are currently a 9.5 favorites.
If the Patriots are going to try to fucking win games, they need to string these together. String them together, Bill.
Listen, I'm telling you, if they beat the Dolphins this week, I don't know if the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs.
See, so my thing is, if we beat the Dolphins this week, that means we're 3-1 in divisional games. And that is not something going into the season you could have told me that we would be four divisional games in.
That's funny.
Like, if you're like, oh, hey, Cody, the Patriots are 3-1 in divisional games, and they've played the Dolphins twice and the Bills once. I'm not believing you. Like, it's just not. But
it's not. It's not something that you know. That's funny. Oh man. Other than those games, I really don't see anything.
The season is weird because like you get some exciting games.
You'll say Bengals Niners or no?
Yeah. That was one of the first things Cody said.
I'm gonna be curious to see how Joe Burrow handles the Niners defense and vice versa.
Yeah.
I want to see how Brock Purdy bounces back after 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
But the Bengals need it. The Bengals need to win, and they need to start stringing together wins because they're what 3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 3-3.
Which is insane because this is the second year in a row where the Bengals has started off like atrocious, like 1-3, 1-4, and just bounce back.
They are them.
They are them.
They are them.
Joe Burrow needs to start using that preseason and not do the preseason in the actual season.
That's funny.
All right. Well, that this week seems kind of boring.
It does.
Also,
It
it's not
does.
exciting.
But the thing is, like you were saying, this year is just so crazy that like
We're gonna get some fucking
they're
like
just
Doesn't
gonna
matter.
Chicago versus
Chargers.
Chargers is gonna be like the most exciting game ever.
100%. It's gonna be like a freaking shootout.
Yeah,
And-
like New York Giants versus the Jets is gonna be a nail biter. Like we're gonna get some exciting game that we didn't even think about talking about. The battle of the mid teams.
100%, dude.
So, I think we just go ahead and go to the big bets, Mikey. What do you think? You got that ready for us?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
We're
Yeah.
Whose week is it to pick? I think we let Coda pick last week.
Yeah, and I picked second, I think.
I think it's your turn.
Yeah. All right,
My turn?
here we go.
Wait,
Or Mikey's
your turn.
Okay. Let me look at the spread.
Mikey, then who?
Not
Me?
the spread.
Then Cody? I think it goes.
Yeah.
Because Cody,
Right.
you picked first the week before last week, right? I think.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. We'll go like that. We'll do it
It's
clockwise.
fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
That's okay.
What the?
Let's see.
More taekwondo.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the spread here and see exactly what's going on.
Take the Bengals.
All right, I have 2 picks.
All right. Oh shoot, that is the wrong week. What are you doing? All right.
All right. I have a few picks I feel good about since I'm picking last.
I don't feel good about any of the picks, but
I feel good about my first pick if it gets back to, if it gets to
it's not. I already know.
It's not.
I already know
It's
it.
not.
I'm picking that.
Never mind. Start us off then.
All right, Mikey, what you got for us?
Oh, I go first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh brother.
Oh,
All right, then.
brother.
Yeah. No
Get a load of
freaking
this
crap.
guy.
Well.
Well,
So, hang on. I got one for sure, but I'm trying to make sure that's the one that I want.
drum roll,
right.
please.
I am going.
That is thundering.
All right. Well, we are
Speaking of
impressed.
thundering, the pick is chart. No.
Lightning bolts.
Uh,
I
I
hate to
guess
see the
I'll
world we
go-
live in where the Chargers are underdogs against the Bears.
I know, right? That would be terrible.
Say. I think that I will go. Bucks over the Bills.
Ooh. Okay.
That was a one I was looking at too.
I will go Bucks over the Bills, and the final score is going to be. Let's do 17. 24.
Okay. I just said K 3 times. K. I didn't make that 4 times.
Oh,
Yeah, I said it- I said it-
gosh.
You can't say that.
Well, clip it. Clip it.
I realized I said it 3 times. I was like, that's not. I
Oh
can't leave
my
it. I can't leave that.
gosh.
Sully from Monsters Inc. on there with that freaking sus face again.
That's-
Whoa. It kills me every time.
Every time, man. All right, let's see. Who am I?
Bro, you haven't
Who
picked
am
yet?
I? You know what?
Mikey gave us like 5 minutes to think.
I think I will pick.
Broncos.
I'm going to pick
Bengals.
the. See, I'm down between two, and I just can't decide who I want to go with.
I was down to 3.
You know what? I think okay. I'm gonna pull the trigger on Washington.
Oh,
I think the Commanders are gonna at home. I think it's gonna be a very, very close game. I think it's gonna be a pretty high scoring game. I think Sam Howell will bounce back of his terrible performance and play well against the Eagles. Huh?
Yeah, he'll give you 12. He'll give you 12
just
this
wanna-
time instead of 9.
Yeah,
You just
you're
want you to
12
bounce
this time. Exactly. I just want myself to bounce back. No, I'm dropping Howell. I dropped him yesterday, so no. I wish I could drop a big game. That's how freaking what's minus 9 points from nothing. I'll drop him mid game. Don't count his points. But I think you know what? I think that's going to be the spread is 6.5. It's just a little high. I would put the spread more of still Commanders underdogs, but I think it's more of like a 2.5 to 3.5. But I like them. I like them to go over the Eagles. Let's see. What's my? I think it's going to be 31-28. I think there's going to be some touchdowns and a field goal to end it. Cody, what you got for us?
Bengals over Niners, 35-24.
35-24. Dang. Okay, buddy.
Jamar Chase statement game.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy.
Ain't nobody
I
went
do have
Broncos.
Jamar Chase, so
Okay.
I hope that he does go off. So we'll see. We'll see, though.
All right, Mike, give us the 4 games. What we got?
All
I gotta use the restroom, so let's wrap this up quickly, please.
Oh God.
You gotta hold it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Me too. I drank
I'll
way
get
too
you-
much water before we
get you
started.
Yeah,
cat
I've had a
brother.
Monster and 2 Dr. Peppers, and my bladder is not working
That's
with me
so
the best
funny.
since ALS.
That is so funny. All right. What are we doing next? What's
The 4 games. 4 games.
Oh yeah,
Mikey.
that's right. That's right.
Someone's gonna go back and watch these and compile our actual scores at the end of the season.
Oh please. I hope they do. I won't, but
I'll do it. I'll do it.
All right. Seahawks and Browns.
I'm gonna go Seahawks. I think Geno Smith does it to him.
I'm going
Browns.
Seahawks as well. I'm not going
Oh, I'm the outlier.
Oh, the outlier.
Yeah, the outlier. Jets, Giants.
Jets.
The Jets pull that off, yeah.
That defense is gonna be too much for him.
Jets have it by 3.
Let me say
Giants. Will be different.
Giants.
I feel like he heard me ask to hurry it up so I can go pee, and he's just started slowing down.
I would too, to be honest.
All right, let's see. Is that 2 or 3? How many games is that?
That was
That's
two.
two.
That was
That's
two.
two.
Oh, freak. Saints, Colts.
Cody. Saints,
Colts.
Colts. I got the Colts all
Hey,
day.
Colts all day.
Yeah, I'll go Colts too. They got the line by 1. That's crazy.
I know. I saw on ESPN the pick'em.
Well, yeah. So what's
like
going to happen
45.
is the Saints are going to get in range to win the game and just drop a pass.
There we go.
They got the Vikings and Packers even.
Wild.
All right. Falcons, Titans.
Happens.
Falcons.
Falcon. I'm gonna go Titans.
Almost. I asked Mikey to hurry it up, and he's slowing down for me.
All right. What? One more, right?
Was that
One
4?
more, one more.
We're doing 4 or 5? Like we've been doing
that was
5.
4,
lately.
right?
Fuck it.
Do one
Let's
more.
do 5.
Fuck it.
Do one more.
We did the exact same thing last week. We said 5.
I think
All
we
right,
did.
I
think we did too.
the Bears Chargers go.
Bears, Chargers.
It's got to be Chargers.
Bears. The Bears.
And California.
The Bears.
Oof. Bears. All right, we're good.
The Bears.
I'm either going to look really stupid or really smart next week.
I will look stupid. It's fine.
What's the difference from next week to this week?
I'm 1 week closer to dying.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, anyways,
thanks for watching.
This is Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Is this it? Probably not. We're gonna talk here and just be squirming around.
Oh wait! No, we gotta hold on. I got one more question to ask.
Oh my god, this guy. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. The question.
I got a question. Not the looks.
You trying to come in on my territory here? Oh no. What's your question?
Does a penis have pores? And if so, how many?
Oh my gosh.
He fucked up the question.
All right.
How many holes does a penis have? And then you ask about the pores.
Oh my
anyway,
God.
What's your question?
Anyways,
do you guys want a football related one or a non-football related one?
I don't care.
I can choose.
I'll answer whatever.
All right, we'll do a non-football question.
Okay. Don't make me choose. They'll be sitting here another 10 minutes.
So your 3 fingers. 3 fingers.
Okay.
You can dispense any 3 liquids out of these fingers. 1 for each finger. What 3 liquids are you taking?
Ooh. Any 3?
Any 3 liquids.
This one will be bourbon for me.
Any 3 liquids. Any liquids at all.
Yeah. That's Mikey bourbon. Over here just like, oh, bourbon. Oh.
This is bourbon right here.
Stop. All right, we got to end this podcast soon.
Wrap it up. Come on. Hurry up. Come on.
All right. This one will be cold water.
Okay.
This one will be gas.
Cold water.
And then this one will be the Jack Daniels. I got to get my like mixed drink thing in.
Okay. All right. There we go. Mikey, what about you?
You said bourbon. You questioned my cold water? You know cold water?
Yeah. So room temperature water right here.
Yeah. Disgusting. Yeah. Disgusting.
Room temperature. Middle finger is bourbon because screw the rest of y'all.
Cold water.
And then 3.
Yeah.
All right, Cody, you go. Let me think of my third.
Okay, so before I say something, when I saw this question, someone said that they would one of their fingers would be piss. So that way, for someone they didn't like, they could just like piss in the drink a little bit, but like discreetly.
That's disgusting. Okay. Oh,
I thought it was hilarious.
Gosh. What if you accident? What if you're drunk and you forget which finger, and you're like, "Oh, I need some water."
Like you're just like, I need some beer right now, and you forget. And it's like, oh, I taste no difference.
Yeah,
the purification process is legit. Just letting you know.
So I'll take Dr. Pepper.
Your body does a good job.
Dr. Pepper guy.
Okay, Dr. Pepper.
Water. I'll get water.
Okay.
And you know what? I will take piss if only because
you gotta mark you gotta get a tattoo.
It's hard for me to pee as a disabled person. It would just be easier if I could just point and click, basically.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I do like that if it like replaces your you have to piss from down there. Yeah. Okay.
I feel like that even for people who walk, I think it'd be much easier
just a point and
I
click.
forgot to.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just basically point and shoot wherever you want to piss out of. All right, Mikey. What's your last one?
Mikey, yeah, what you got?
Bro, it's not this deep.
I don't know why I'm thinking
Just
so
say
hard. Jesus.
say gas, because dude, can you imagine? All right, you run out of gas on the side of the road. Oh, don't worry, no AAA, no nothing. Just put your finger.
Yeah,
in the little...
we're assuming that these liquids are infinite. Like you can just keep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the assumption.
Oh, protein shakes.
Oh, that's a big
protein
that's a big
shakes
one.
are expensive.
That's a
yeah.
big one.
I'm lazy. I get tired of making them all the time.
That's fair.
That's
I like
funny.
muscle milk, TBH.
Ooh. My
so-
my aunt buys these protein shakes that are like 30 grams of protein. What are they called? It's one of those I definitely forgot the
Like
name of
Boost?
them already. Boost. I think it's Boost.
Is it Boost?
It might
Speaking
be
of-
Boost.
Speaking of boosting, let's get the boost out of here.
Let's
I gotta
get
piss.
the boost out of here. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have been recording for almost 3 hours, but I think we were
Thank
only
you.
show is like 2.5 hours. So thank you guys so much. If you're here at
The wild
end,
thing is,
thank you guys for watching, and we
The
appreciate it.
wild
I
thing
know
is we've been recording for 3 hours, but we've been at the seat. Like I've been at the seat for like 4.
Oh yeah,
Because
no, we've been because
It
before
took like
yeah.
it took Mikey like an hour to get in here.
That's okay. That's all right.
You know.
But thank you guys.
We were
If
early.
you're
Mikey was
still
on time.
here, we appreciate you watching all the way through.
Big love.
We appreciate
love.
you. One person that we haven't shouted out is big up to Pops, aka Mikey's dad.
Love Mikey's dad.
Huge supporter. He's always commenting on the videos. We
Number one
love
fan.
reading his comments. Keep it up, man. We appreciate you.
Squirrel.
And we're definitely squirrel. Sorry, squirrel.
There's been a lot of squirrels.
But we
this
appreciate
episode.
you very
Ignore
much.
that.
Appreciate the support and
Appreciate everyone.
watching. And it's awesome.
Check the description for the link
Check.
tree.
Yep.
Go
Follow us on Instagram,
everything.
TikTok.
We'll all be there.
I'm sure Facebook at some point we'll get that
Spotify.
going. We appreciate you guys so much for watching. Can't say that enough. And so thank you. Also make sure to comment your 5-man roster of flag football. Do that.
Or anything you would like us to talk about.
That's true too.
Sure.
Any questions, any topics, anything that you want to see us probably ramble on about and get sidetracked on is what we'll do. But thank you guys so much. It's been the We Love Football podcast. And
We
we'll
love
see you guys next
football.
week.
We love
Peace.
football.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.